I've been meaning to make this video. I don't have, my only opportunity is in the frigging car lately. Only time I'm quiet or it's quiet and I'm by myself. But anyway, this video is on what to expect after you have shoulder surgery. If you're watching this video or you searched for this, chances are you haven't been able to find what you're looking for on YouTube. And what I couldn't find was really just what to expect, like how much pain, difficulty sleeping, range of motion, what did I really get out of physical therapy, what else, the brace, demobilizer, and then this little pocket or pillow thing that I bought for sleeping. I'll explain that. But I'll do my best to just kind of cover what you should expect after surgery. I'm about 20 weeks, and what I'll do here is edit in a few pictures of the x-rays and then the link for this little pillow thing that I bought, which made the world of difference when I was sleeping. But I was calling people that I knew that had surgery to ask them, hey, it's been like 6 weeks. Should this hurt this bad? And they're like, oh yeah, it should hurt. So anyway, I'll cut to the chase here. Let me just show you these pictures. Here's the pictures. Here's where they cut a chunk out of my collarbone. That looks pretty serious, but evidently it's pretty routine. Here's where my labrum detached and they did work in there. And then here's where they snipped my bicep tendon and stapled it to my bone. So that's another view of where the staple is that holds it so it can regrow onto my bone. Okay, and then here's the pillow thing. This thing just straps to your arm and goes like in your armpit. It's about 2 to 3 inches thick. It's really high quality. It's memory foam. And this is what I'm talking about later. You sleep on your side and you can see the leverage pulls your shoulder up out of the socket. You'll also get one of these demobilizer thing, and then you'll get a sling. Sling's your friend. But anyway, that's all the stuff. I'll put the link in the comments. But like I said, I'm about 20 weeks after surgery, and the first 3 or 4 days was nothing. I mean, they give you like a nerve block. It makes your whole arm feel like it's asleep. You actually think something's wrong. You think that you're not getting blood to your hand. That's what I felt like. I felt like they made a mistake. Something's wrong. My arm's gonna fall off. Turns out none of that was true. It's totally normal. And after about 3 days, you start to get the feeling back, and you're in a cast from here down. I guess I should tell you what I had done. Well, actually, I'll tell you that when I edit in the pictures. So forget that. Let's get back to how you should feel. So you can't move anything. Your arm is kind of strapped to your belly if you had what I had done, and you don't really feel anything for the first 3 or 4 days. Day 4, it really friggin' hurts, and I'm not a big pain medication person. I would take the Motrin 800 milligrams, but I didn't take any of the oxycodone or whatever the harder drugs are that they gave me, and I was fine. I mean, it hurt, but the Motrin did its job. So that said, after you go through the panic of your arm's going to fall off because they did something wrong and it's not getting blood, then you go into, holy cow, this really hurts. Just sitting on the couch watching TV, just the weight of your body, the pain up in your shoulder is unbelievable. So I didn't really expect that. From what I understand, the bicep work does not really hurt. Like, there's not a lot of nerves in there reattaching that tendon. The pain that you're feeling is whatever work they did to your collarbone. It's very painful. and whatever work they did to your rotator cuff. Lots of nerves there. Obviously I'm not a doctor, I'm just telling you my experience, and that's how I interpreted the pain. And it's like a deep aching pain that doesn't go away. When you twist and move and accidentally put a little bit of pressure right here, which would activate your bicep, you get a shock feeling. So I would say there's 3 types of pain to expect. One is just this aching, like you were bruised, like somebody hit you, like a truck hit you in the shoulder. So that's the bruising, aching pain. Then there's the sharp jolts of pain, which I don't know what's driving that, but it'll just shoot up your neck and you just feel this sharp jolt of pain. Then if you move your bicep wrong, you'll get this shock feeling. It feels like an electrical shock, and that is your tendon pulling, from what I understand, against the staple or the plug or however they attached it, into your bone. So those are the 3 types of pain I experienced. This dragged on for about 6 or 7 weeks easily. And in physical therapy, they primarily just work on stretching. I'm very active, so I'm not convinced the physical therapy did like a lot for me, because I was more active doing projects around the house, painting, working on various things. Then I was getting in more movement, doing my normal routine, trying to just keep up. It was very painful, but trying to keep up with my normal routine was really just as effective as the physical therapy exercises. However, I went to physical therapy twice a week, every week for like 15 weeks. And they would stretch it, no weight, but they would stretch it, and then they would ice it, and then they would hook up those stimulus things to the electrical pads. And that actually took care of quite a bit of the pain. I never did buy one for myself. I thought about it. I don't sit still long enough to really value that or be able to do that. But I thought about it, I just never pulled the trigger. They're relatively inexpensive. So now we're at about 7 weeks, 8 weeks, and I'm coming out of the demobilizer. So I'll show you a picture of it. It's basically this arm brace that keeps you from extending your shoulder. Your elbow. Keeps your bicep from being extended. And I'm done wearing that, and I'm moving into just a sling. And I occasionally wouldn't wear the sling because it was pain and, just kind of got in the way. Well, let me tell you something. Wear the sling, because what ended up happening was I would involuntarily reach for something. My cell phone slipped out of my hand, and wearing the sling, my cell phone slipped out of my hand a couple times. Wearing the sling, you can't really extend your arm to grab it. Not wearing the sling, you can involuntarily extend your arm to grab it, and it freaking hurts. It. That's when you get that electrical shock, and then you think that you've done something horrible. In fact, you'll start to get bruising under the scar at about, I know I'm going backwards, I'm kind of going all over the place with this, but you'll get bruising under the scar. I thought that was not normal. That's normal too. Basically everything was normal. And the bruising under the scar happened shortly after I started physical therapy, and shortly also after I would use it accidentally. Another thing that happened not wearing the brace is I was walking through a doorway, and we have those lever type handles on the house, and my wrist caught on the handle, jerked my whole shoulder backwards. Well, that lit me up. I won't do that. I try not to do that again. The other thing is people will grab you. They'll grab your arm, they'll grab your shoulder, they'll depending on what arm it is, maybe go to shake your hand. And the physical therapist said, wear the sling for other people. That was the best advice ever. Wear the sling for other people. because people, kind of stand, they're more mindful that you've done something to yourself when you have this sling on, especially if you're active. And my job, I'm in retail stores all the time, talking to people, and having the sling kind of keeps people a little bit away from your shoulder. So where are we at? So I guess about 11 or 12, maybe into 11 or 12 weeks, no more sling, no more nothing. You just have to be mindful of not using it for a lot of weight. And this is where I thought I really hurt myself. We took a trip and I didn't wear the sling, and I'm kind of moving luggage around on the plane, and I'm carrying things, not overly heavy, but I would say I'm putting 5 to 10 pounds of pressure on my bicep, and I'm getting these little shocks, and I'm kind of working it to a point where I'm pushing the limit, not intentionally, but just because I'm active, and we're taking this trip. And you get this bruising feeling like a pulled muscle. Your entire bicep feels like just a pulled muscle. So now we're at this 15-week mark. Remember, now I'm at 20 weeks and I'm pretty mobile. I can do about anything. But at about the 15-week mark, you'll feel three things. Number one, it's just stiff and achy to move around. Number two, your bicep feels like it's pulled. You feel like you got a pulled muscle. And number three, and this is the worst, and from what I understand, this is what's going to last the longest, is your collarbone feels like it's bruised. It's the best way to explain it. It just feels bruised. And from what I understand, that's going to last for like a year. My daughter broke her collarbone, and she said, yeah, that sucker hurt for about a year. So that's what to expect at about the 15-week mark. Taking a shower sucks. And I'm going to get to sleeping in a second. But taking a shower is terrible because you're trying to wash your back and your legs and your feet, and you're just moving around in a way. When you get out of the shower and you try to dry yourself off, you're moving your shoulder in a way that you don't normally do throughout the day. It's a workout. And I was physically sore after I would take a shower and dry off because of the movement. Real quick before I get into sleeping, the scars heal up, no problem. I mean, I was wearing a shirt when the stitches were still in. I got rid of all that gauze and garbage, and the stitches would kind of rub against the shirt, but it wasn't unmanageable. So I wouldn't worry about wearing the bandages. At least I didn't, and I was fine. Next is sleeping. Sleeping has been horrible up until this week. So I'm in week 20. This is the first week that I can actually sleep relatively normally. So what's the problem with sleeping? Well, I don't sleep on my back. I sleep on my side. And when you sleep on I couldn't sleep on my left side because that's the shoulder surgery side. So I sleep on my right side. And the pressure from like kind of curling, right? You're sleeping on your side and your shoulders are curling in like this. And I would wake up in the middle of the night. I would wake up in the morning unbelievably sore. Just everything about sleeping was horrible. And I was doing some research. If you get anything out of this video, buy this little pillow. I bought the $19 one. It was garbage. This one that I have, the link below, is the $69 one. Seems kind of excessive for a little thing. You could actually roll up a towel and stick it under your arm. Essentially what you're accomplishing is you're putting this gap right here. Let me park. You're putting this space right here. So when your shoulder comes down, just the leverage of your elbow being heavier than this area here, you're pulling that joint apart. And it made the biggest difference in the world. I could actually sleep through the night. I couldn't sleep on this side until this week, but that made the biggest difference ever, kind of releasing the pressure, the gravity pressure from my shoulder joint with this weird little pillow. Best thing I bought. Got me to sleep through the night, and also made it so wasn't really a lot of pain. And I've been using that thing from about, I wish I discovered it sooner, but I bet from week 15 to week 20, I used that, and it was amazing. I'm not using it anymore. In fact, I forgot to wear it a couple nights, or I guess about a week ago, and I'm pretty much past that. So I don't need that anymore. And I'm also able to sleep on my left side for a little while, not directly on it, but kind of a little bit angled. But I guess the best, the tips from that I want to provide you with, having this type of surgery is, do the physical therapy, mainly for the stretching. Keep your rotation. Getting cash out of a cash machine from within the car was horrible. For some reason, that angle of reaching out the window to push the buttons on the cash machine, horrible. So keep that range of motion, keep working the range of motion. You really can't work it enough, from what I understand. Really trust them about weight. Don't put any weight on it for at least the first 15 weeks or so, and then gradually start to, put weight on it. Get the pillow thing. Wear the brace for other people just as much as for yourself. And every time I was freaking out like there's something wrong, it turned out to be totally normal. So anyway, I hope this video helps with whatever you were looking for in searching for a video like this. I couldn't find one on YouTube where somebody just kind of explained what they experienced. So anyway, thanks for watching. By the way, I post random videos all the time on all kinds of stuff. So if you liked this, I'd really appreciate you subscribing, trying to grow the channel. I guess that's it for this one. Thanks. See you next time.